Do you support a pause in the bond issuance for BLP? Why or why not?
We'll be having some meetings on that in the next few weeks to discuss that issue. But right now, if I were to vote right now, I would not support a pause, no. I'll be open to the meetings, you know, but I'm right now I would definitely vote not to pause. I think we need generation on the island. I think we need it because, for one thing, all your renewables have to be backed up with something. So either we pay for that backup on the grid, or we do it ourselves. And I would just as soon have it ourselves. I'd like to have a backup in case something happens to the grid. I showed some of the council members here an article that from our former governor. I can't think of her name now, but anyways, Jennifer. But anyways, Granville. There you go. Thank you. And she said, you know, they're talking about people hacking the pipeline out east, rather. She said the question was, could they hack the grid? And she says she thinks people are working on doing that right now. And if they do hack the grid, right now we don't have any backup for it. And again, they're right, because 12.5 megawatts isn't going to give us enough energy for our town, but it will for our residential homes. It won't for our factories. It won't for our medical institutions, but they have you know, backup anyways. So, but it will give us, for every residential home, we'll have power, and according to Dave Walters, and that. You know, that's two good reasons to do it, and the third reason would be to, okay.
Thank you. Mike?
At the last city council meeting, we had quite a conversation about engaging residents and having some meetings again. Since the last ones that we did have were in 2018, to kind of gauge where local residents feel and get some input as well, so we can better make a decision as to what to do with regards to the bonding, approve it, move ahead, take some of it out, maybe put some other back in. And those will be coming up here in August. I would appreciate if everybody could attend, fill out a postcard with your questions, whatever you may have, and send them in, because we're all in this together. And it would be nice if everyone was pulling in the same direction, instead of a group pulling in the direction one way and the group the direction the other way. If we could come together to a common consensus and everybody work together, we could probably solve this pretty quickly. Just state it mildly. My position ever since they have announced the closure of the Sims plant has been for the safety of our residents. We have elderly that have medical equipment needs. We have elderly who don't get out of their homes. And if they get shut in and it's winter and they have no heat or no power, some of them probably won't make it. So that has been my concern, to have a source of generation. Does it have to be on the island? Probably not. Does it have to be somewheres? I would certainly like to see some somewheres, or a collaboration with MPPA or MISO or any of the other acronyms that you can have. I believe that with the discovery of the ammonia, the cyanide, the PFAS, the PFOA, the PFOS, and probably a bunch of other acronyms we don't want to know anything about, the wisest thing to do is to find out from EGLE and DEQ what we have to do first, and take care of the issues we have first, and then move on. Thank you.
Karen?
In my view, there is no business case economically, environmentally, or legislatively for a power plant on Harbor Island, period, the end. But since you asked, I'm going to go on. I am strongly opposed to the gas-powered peaker plant for a lot of different reasons. But I certainly do support a pause in the action so that we can engage an independent panel of experts to look at this and verify it. I recognize I'm not the expert. I just don't see the business case there. But, you know, let's get an independent panel in here to look at that. And if they say, yes, a gas peaker plant is needed, let's team up with other municipalities here along western Michigan. Why should the people of Grand Haven bear the cost and risk, and there is a lot of risk, of a stranded asset, of contaminants, etc. Why should we bear the risk of that? So let's definitely pause, let's definitely get some expert advice and move on. And finally, the priority should be the safety of employees of the BLP, the people of Grand Haven, and the people of outlying areas. And so that means the safety of our water. We've got to do something environmentally about preventing those contaminants from getting into anything else. Thank you.
Kevin?
Thank you. You know, the Board of Light and Power recommended to City Council the adoption of that $50 million bond on June 17th. They moved ahead even knowing full well that there is, toxic chemicals on that island. I frankly find that disturbing, to say the least. I think it's a very easy decision by City Council to just abandon any idea of any development on Harbor Island. We have no idea what the cleanup costs could be. The effect on this city could be tens of millions of dollars. And to try to even move ahead, community forums are nice, but at the end of the day, let's take care of the environmental problems before we go another step further. Why are we wasting a lot of people's time? Listen, I'm all for community forums. I believe in transparency. I believe in good community input. But in this case, we're already sitting on a time bomb, in my mind, on that island. So let's start there. Let's just clean that up, find out what the real problem is. Obviously the BLP doesn't care. They went right ahead with their recommendation knowing full well what is sitting on that island. And I think that is, as I said before, I think it's disgraceful what they're doing. So I hope that City Council will take a long pause. If at the end of the day, if it's a year or 2 years down the road, and it's determined that we do need a peaker plant, it can't be on that island, and I hope that it can be shared with other municipalities in this region. Because to do it alone, it just doesn't make any sense financially.
Now it's your turn, Tim.
Thank you. I also think that a pause is in order, and I have a few different reasons. But of course, Eagle has not studied anything. We know we have stuff there, but nothing. You have no report of anything. So to proceed forward, not knowing what is going to happen and what your costs are going to be, is foolish. That's just foolish. That's like buying a swamp. In Florida. Okay, fine, but that's not what you do. Now, until you get that report, you don't know if that property is usable or not usable. Contaminants are being built over top of right now downtown. That site for those apartments is contaminated, but there are ways to get around things. All you have to do is follow the legislation, and you can still build on stuff. That's all you have to do. You just got to know they are professionals. I'm not a professional. I listen to professionals. They say, if you do this, if you take this step, if you do that step, you can do it. So wait and see. Do not proceed. That's just foolishness. Do I think we need a plan? Yeah. I'm an electrician. I like backups. I do. I love backups. And I've sold lots of backups. I've sold little backups and big backups. The people that buy the little generators, yeah, it'll get you by. But it won't do the job. It'll get you by. You have to stop something in order to use it. You can't use it all. The bigger the generator, the more you get to use. That's just common sense. So wait, this peaker plant's too small.